Sunday fun day, and Papa Swole is ready to go. I'm ready, ready for the big time, baby. Let's do it.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Yeah. Testing. Test ickles. Welcome everyone to episode 786 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gaincast, nipcast, sundaycast, coffeecast, and taintcast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex all biceps. What's going on, fam? Happy Sunday. What up, Michael Dennis? It's Papa time. It's Papa Swolio. It's Papa Olio. Papa Swolio. I'm going to say that from now on. It's your host, Papa Swolio. Welcome, everyone, to episode 786. Happy Sunday Fun Day. Welcome, streaming live on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and of course, you can catch all the podcasts, SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, Spotify, all of them. And don't forget to follow the Swolenormous Audio Experience podcast as well, because I am doing a new spin on taking you behind the scenes. It's called Swole World, and the second episode is going up today, and it's literally me doing audio throughout the day. It's like an audio log. Go check it out. So I got two podcasts because Papa Swolio does it right. Gang bang in the audio gains. You know, you heard? You know, what up, Instagram? Welcome back. Had a couple good interviews the last couple days. Today's episode is titled Close Your Eyes. Close your eyes, or gains wide shut if you want to go the Tom Cruise route. So that is going to be the topic, and you're going to be like, what the fuck is he talking about? What does that mean? I'm going to let you know. I'm going to give you the deets. Let me just finish this coffee, because as you can tell, I need more caffeine. Am I right? Or am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? What's up, Swole? What's up, Lion on Periscope? Let's see. Anthony, Facebook. Alicia, what's up, Facebook? Aiden on Facebook as well. Holly on YouTube. Hey, Swole Folkies. Hope you're having a great day. Did I, Kirsty, did I read you correctly saying that it was sunny in Scotland? I thought the sun doesn't come out on that island. I've heard the legends of England and the UK and everything. You just don't get any, there's no sun. It's always gray. But if it is sunny, I'm glad for you. I'm happy for you. It's sunny as shit down here in Florida, I'll tell you that much. What up, Instagram? How you doing? How is everyone doing? So before we start, remember, just a final reminder. Bullshit final reminder. I'm going to be blowing your fucking tits off in the next couple days. Fam, there's only 3 days left. I cannot reinforce this enough that there's only 3 days left to jump on that special offer with swolenormousx.com. You are going to regret it, I promise you, and you do not want to live your life with regret. This is the deal of the century. Swole 50, SWOLE 50 at checkout for the unlimited memberships. You get half off initiation, half off sign up with your monthly, and 25% off your yearly. It is lit like a tit. There's options for everyone, and I'm making this extremely accessible. I am literally just welcoming you in the door. Like, come on in and make those sick fucking gains. Come on in, get lean. Come on in, fix your back problems, fix your ankle problems, okay? Hey, come on. I'm not an ortho, but these corrective exercises are absolutely fire. Absolutely fire. So don't miss that. It's in the bottom corner of this live cast, and you can go to the website, swolenormousx.com, and if you go to the unlimited memberships in the store, you will see the special offer code. So go check it out. Do not wait. I promise you. You're so motivational. Why, thank you. We spent a lot of time yesterday, Dennis and I, talking about how motivation's bullshit, but I know what you mean. I get you pumped up. I get you amped, which is cool. John Hall, what's good, Papa Swole? Hadn't had a chance. Anything live in a while? Cool. Let's see. It will snow next week, though, in Scotland. Yeah, probably, right? Zach, did you do something different with the Facebook camera? It's super HD. No, I mean, it's the same It's probably because it's lighter. You're getting some daylight coming in. I decided to open the window up a little bit. Same camera as always. Same camera as always. You know that depends on so many things. Depends on the streaming through Facebook. Depends on your internet connection. It depends on my internet connection. There's so many things that have to be kind of aligned and in order to make it go. I also have on the docket, like in the back of my head, okay, to set up my DSLR as the webcam, and then it's gonna be more. But I don't think we need any more HD. You get the point. You get the point. You don't need any more camera tweaks, and plus I don't really have a lot of room back there to set that up. This is one more thing to do. I don't think anyone needs. You guys don't need. You don't need DSLR webcam, do you? Maybe we'll do it. Maybe knowing me, I'll try it someday. I'll try it, but if the setup changes, if I change location or if I change the setup, maybe I'll tweak things a little bit. But I'm glad you can see every strand in the beard. You're welcome. Oh, you're fucking welcome. Oh, you're welcome. So let's get in with the topic today. 786, close your eyes. This is something that I thought of the other day. I forget if it was yesterday, the day before. I think it was 2 days ago when I was training. Something that I do. It just kind of stood out, and we haven't talked about this before. I don't believe that we have discussed this before. Closing your eyes while you're training. Do any of you close your eyes on purpose while you're training? I'm not talking about you're squeezing and you're squinting and you close your eyes. Do any of you actually use closing your eyes as a strategy? Do any of you actually use closing your eyes as a training strategy? And I want to explain what that means. Think about what it's like to, I don't know if you've ever done this, if you've ever pretended to be blind or if you pretended to be deaf. And this is not to tease people that are lacking those senses, because there are some people that are blind and deaf and both and whatnot. But when you lose one sense, when you lose, let's say you lose eyesight, your hearing is going to become more acute. You're going to hear more detail. You accentuate your audio skills. And it's the same thing with everyone. And you're like this too. Before I got into hardcore audio, before I upgraded the whole podcast setup, before I upgraded the microphone, camera, and I started really, I've always been investing back in what I'm doing here, but I made a huge, and most of you know this because if you follow my podcast and you follow the content from creation until now, you know that the audio is just night and day what it used to be. The quality and the technology and what I do here, it's much, much more upgraded, okay? It's much more professional. The quality is better. The editing is better. Everything is better because it's practice, right? And a lot of that comes into my own personal observation, my own personal, I would guess, attention to detail with the audio. So because the audio and podcasting is so important to me, and the audio is the future of what we're doing here with technology, it's a big focus of what I do. So as I upgraded the audio and as I really got nitty gritty about trying to always improve that, my ears have gotten more skilled. And have you ever noticed that when you start listening to music more, or let's say you're a DJ and you start getting into audio editing, or you started becoming a photographer, you got into photography as a hobby, so you started noticing, and as you get better, you start noticing light in a different way. You start noticing, for example, audio, I notice hiss more. I notice, things sound echoey more, too much bass. You just start learning to hear different things in a different way. You start splitting things up. Your ears become stronger, essentially. Your ears become more trained. Your eyes become more trained. And like any kind of coordination, your skills become more trained. If you're a BMX biker or you skateboard, you go swimming, as you get better, coordination, you notice the changes. You notice the changes from the norm. So if you're consistent with your diet and then you stray, you notice the subtle differences in how your body feels, sluggishness, energy, joint pain. You notice those little things, everything. It goes like that for everything. So no matter what you do, as you become more skilled and more in tune with whatever craft or activity you're doing, you get better at it and you notice the subtle differences. When you're training, the same thing happens with exercise. The more you train, the more you lift, you start to notice. You'll know when your body feels good. You know when your body feels bad. You know when it's good pain, when it's bad pain, when you should back off, when you should take a day off. You learn your body. And I always talk about learning your body. When you learn your body better, everything gets better. Everything gets better. You just have to learn. You have to practice. You have to learn. What I like to do when I train is sometimes, and it's not always, I don't just walk around the gym with my fucking eyes closed. I don't wear eye patches and just walk around with hater blockers on. But when you train, close your eyes. Close your eyes when you're doing a set. I'm not saying close your eyes when you're doing a squat, when you can fall over and hurt yourself. I'm talking about in exercises maybe when you're doing an incline curl on a bench, or you're doing a standing dumbbell curl, or you're doing maybe a more moderate or higher rep set of chest. Something where you aren't risking yourself. And I'm not saying you have to keep your eyes closed the entire time, but you close your eyes for certain contractions. Maybe the negative, you close your eyes. Always keep it safe. I'm just putting that out there. Make sure you're safe. Don't close your eyes and fucking hurt yourself and drop a weight on your face. But when you close your eyes and you blur your vision, you just close your eyes and you focus on the feel. You focus on squeezing. That is where you can get a lot more muscle contraction. You create a stronger mind-muscle connection because you are taking out the visual. You're taking out what you see in the mirror. You see your arms going up. You see your bicep contracting. You see these things. You don't want to see these things. Who gives a fuck what it looks like? You want to feel it. You want to feel the muscle contracting. You want to feel the shortening of the muscle. You want to feel the overload. You want to feel the negative. You want to feel the change in length. You need to feel those things. And if you can create a stronger mind-muscle connection, you're going to get more out of your sets. You're going to get more out of your isometrics. You're going to get more out of those eccentrics. You get more out of every part of your contraction. And overall, you get more out of your workout. And that's a strategy. That's a skill. That's something you practice. But closing your eyes can be a very useful skill. Okay? Remember, keep it safe. All right? Don't do it during, let's say, walking lunges. Not smart. Don't do squats or heavy deadlifts with your eyes closed. Not smart. When you close your eyes, the reason why you lose your balance is because all the time your body keeps nonstop association between where you are in space and things around you. That's why you don't fall over when you're standing up, because your body is constantly gauging the wall, the chair, the things around you, making sure you stay in the same place in time and space relative to the things around you. That's why you're not wobbling all the time. You learn coordination. When you're walking down a hallway, your body knows and your eyes know relative to the walls on the side, don't walk left, don't walk right, because you're going to hit those walls. Stay right in the middle. Keep walking so the walls are on even sides behind you. These are all things that your body automatically thinks. You're not thinking this consciously when you walk down a hallway. However, this is what your body does to keep you upright. When you close your eyes, you start losing balance because all of a sudden your body has no frame of reference. You don't know where that wall is. You could picture it in your mind, but you'll lose that. And that's why after 5, 10, 15 seconds, depending on your balance skills, you start to wobble. You start to lose balance. You start to lose stability because you lose that perspective of where you are in the room. And that's very important. So when you close your eyes, your body will connect more with the muscle because you have one less major sense to distract you, one less thing to look at. You have to focus more on the feel of the weight, the feel of the contraction. You have to, because there's one less major thing. Vision is a huge part of human, I don't know, what do you say? Human senses, human ability, human living. Vision is huge. Can you survive without vision? Yes. Are you more efficient or less efficient without vision? Well, you can make the argument in specific instances, but less efficient. If you can't see, you are functioning at a percentage of being a human. And it's just the way it is, okay? It's not saying that people that are blind are stupid or less of a human being, but you don't have all the skills and the tools that a human being normally has. And I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that, okay? If you don't have your vision, you are working without a hammer as a carpenter, essentially. So you have to use other things. You have to use other methods. But it's a great skill and a great thing to do and a great thing to tweak to close your eyes. And closing your eyes will help strengthen those other senses. And the other senses are very important for muscle contraction, much more important than vision. So try that. Try that. A little hack, a little something I wanted to share with you. And that's something that maybe you do. Maybe you do this on your own, but you just close your eyes because you're not that kind of closing your eyes. I mean, consciously, on purpose, closing your eyes in order to get a little bit more out of the exercise. What's up, fam? Late made it. Let the class session begin. You are late. Class has been in session for 20 minutos, bruh. So let those questions fly. I'll be here in the oficina. I'll be here for another episode of the Daily Swole tomorrow, and then I am going out of town. I'll make some announcements on that because I'm going to try to do a casual meetup where I'm going. So I'll make those announcements as soon as it's available. So I won't be here. And just so you know, I'll make this announcement now, but tomorrow I'll still be here. Moving forward with the week for the next week or so, I will be just streaming on Instagram and Facebook, probably not YouTube or Twitch. So if you follow on those platforms, make sure you're hooked into Instagram and Facebook, as the live streaming will be changing. I'm just going to go gangster for my cell phones, and but I will be doing the podcast. So the podcast will stay, but the live streaming is only going to be likely on Facebook or Instagram only. So if possible, both, and if only one is possible, it's going to be Facebook. So make sure that you turn your alerts on. And if you're not following me on Facebook, that's foolish. Already, just fundamentally foolish, but make sure you do that. Okay. So yeah. Any questions on closing your eyes? I thought that was an interesting thing to pull up here, and you can do that you can do that for pretty much any exercise, for, as long as it's not intensively balance based. Like I said, you want to make sure you're not fucking hurting yourself or falling over, smashing your head or something like that. That's just ridiculous and stupid. And I would like to think that you can use common sense and you all will be able to figure that out. But at the same time, I want to just clarify that, because common sense isn't as common as you would think. So going to Florida, Greg, enjoy, bro. Kirsty, I think once I get ripped, I'll treat myself to a trip to Florida. Sweet. Cool. Yeah, fucking A. Florida's nice. It's hot, though. It's hot. That's one thing that people underestimate when they come down here. When you go to Florida, it's literally like being in a jungle. Its next stop is South America. This is as south as it gets. So you're on the schlong of the United States, and it's humid. It is fucking humid down here. And if you're not used to humidity, it's a whole other ballgame. It's a game changer. If you're not used to humidity, it's one thing to have heat. And someone said it really good the other day that lives in Florida too. They mentioned that when they explain the weather in Florida, they explain that it's like being wet and on fire at the same time. And it's pretty much exactly right. It's like being in an oven, but just being soaking wet. It's so hot in the summer. And humid. It's humid as fuck. It's so humid. It's so humid down here. My God, is it humid? It's so humid. As hot as down under. I'm sure it all depends. Anywhere when you're near the water. Anywhere when you're near the water, you get that humidity. If you go to Australia, 90 or 95% of your country is just desert, though. It's all in the middle. Right? When you go in like the outback, isn't that just all desert? So, I mean, the United States has that too. We have the desert. We have all those arid regions between the mountains and the Midwest and stuff like that, really dry areas. But we get some serious humidity down here. I stay away from Florida as a general rule. Mother-in-law is in Zephyr Hills. Oh, that's where they rape the earth with water and overcharge everyone for bottled water. Scams. Your injury was in Key West. Oof. Key West is nice. I think it's severely overrated. I don't like being anywhere where you're trapped. When you go to Key West, you're just screwed. You have nowhere else to go. I don't like being trapped like that. Colorado has been hot as shit. I think everywhere's hot as shit in the summer, but you get, the whole earth is getting hot. We all getting hot. And as much as everyone's going to talk about global warming, all of a sudden there'll be a freaking cold spell where we get snow in Florida. So shit's definitely changing. It's definitely hot as hell. And the seasons are definitely, I guess, decreasing or increasing. They're changing since I've been down here. The timing of when the seasons hit is a lot different since I moved down here. And I moved down here in officially 2005. So I've been down here for 13 years. it's been different. The timing's been different. The heat's been different. The cold has been less and less of a period of it being cold outside down here in Florida. And everyone laughs when I say it's cold, but when you're used to 95 degrees and humidity and like 100% humidity, when it drops to 60 degrees, it's fucking cold. And if you've never been down here, when you come here and it is 50 or 60, it feels freaking cold. It really does. It really does. It really feels cold when it's that temperature. You think, oh man, no, I'd be hot, I'd be out. No, it's cold, especially. It just get that wet cold in your bones. Holy shit, I just checked Key West. There's one highway on the ocean that goes, yeah, it just goes down. It just goes all the way down. US 1, it's the old school highway. I mean, it's really, yeah, just one road all the way down, goes all the way up to Maine. US Highway Numero Uno goes all the way up to the tip. The tip, get it? Let's see. I thought Ohio weather was crazy. It could be 30 degrees on Monday and 93 on Friday. I feels like this is the only state where you can see all 4 seasons in 1 week. Well, you're right in the lakes. You're right in the lakes up there. So you get that weather that just comes in, boom, blast you. All the way up there by Canada and stuff. When I got back from Afghanistan, 60 degrees felt cold. Yeah, if you get used to the heat, you get used to the heat. It really does. It really changes the game. So when it comes to your programming, let's go over some of these exercises you can use this with. So like I said, make sure when you try this technique with closing your eyes, that you have stability. You're not doing necessarily anything where you're going to fall over. You're not doing anything that's super intensive. This is not designed for any kind of heavy strength. I think I will clarify that. So the exercise and the type of training you want to avoid are those heavy strength exercises. You're not doing this for 1 rep maxes. You're not doing this for heavy squats. You're not doing this for heavy deadlifts. You're doing this for exercise where they're more hypertrophy range, 6 to 12 repetitions, maybe even more, 8 or 10 to 15 repetitions. So those rep ranges and those types of exercises, whether it's a triceps extension with a cable, whether it's a supine exercise, supine triceps extensions, or maybe a dumbbell bench press, but you're doing this with weights that you can control. So it's a lower percentage of your 1 repetition max. So you're doing a lower percentage of all out intensity. You're not crushing yourself in terms of a high risk. Anytime you go really high with the intensity and you up that kind of output, how much weight you're lifting, you increase your risk. You increase your risk of getting hurt. And that's not the time to close your eyes. You might be squinting and, to push the weight up, but you should also have spotters. You also have people watching you, and you're not closing your eyes because you're trying to increase your mind-muscle connection. You are not, and I repeat, you are not focusing on mind-muscle connection when you are doing those heavy strength output exercises. You are building upon all those years and months and all that time spent on perfecting your form, and you're just absolutely driving the weight as hard as you can. And that's just like a baseball player who practices in the batting cage his entire life and months and years and weeks and preseason, offseason, all that kind of stuff. And then when they get to the plate in the game, they're not thinking about hitting mechanics. They're just executing, and they're just using their reaction because they practice it so much. So don't use it for exercises that are extremely high risk or high output. Holly Dash, I did hot yoga for the first time in a year. I used to hate it and think it was so boring, but ever since watching you, I've completely changed mindset and love it. Look at you. Look at you, Holly, getting fancy over there with your hot yoga. So fancy. Love the recovery and the mind-muscle connection and meditation. If I felt so empowered and connected with myself, going to try to do it once a week. Sure. Start with once a week, and then you can up it or adjust it as needed. But as long as it's a consistent part of your training, that's huge. And start to look into getting to meditation every day. When you're meditating every day, you're going to depend less on the meditative part of yoga, in the sense that you're going to have that meditation, that mindset all the time. And the yoga is just that physical release in addition, because it helps you. And practicing meditation just by itself, practicing meditation helps you with your yoga, because you can get into that flow and zone, and you can connect with the breath a lot quicker and more efficiently. John Cobble, we had an 8,000 calorie diet to keep weight on because it was so fucking hot. Damn, dude. Damn, that's a lot. That's a lot of food. Yeesh. We had body fat content test when we got there, and they actually submerged in water to see, body fat underwater weighing. Papa changing lives, trying to, man. There you go. Throw some gorillas, throw some biceps. Hell yeah. So I'm opening the floor now, like I always do, but we always have room for Q&A. So open floor Q&A. We'll do this for a few more minutes. Probably not like an extended, long, pulverizing episode. In the meantime, while you're dropping down questions or comments, this, that, and the other, I'm going to give you a little updates on what's going on behind the scenes. So those of you that are in Swolenormous X, remember at the beginning of the episode, I talked about how the special offer is ending in 3 days. You'll hear me talking about it a lot. I'll be sending out more information on that. I'll be contacting you. If you follow me everywhere, you'll probably hear me talking about it everywhere. And that's just because it's a fucking amazing opportunity. So there's only a couple more days left. So, and then you won't hear me talking about that anymore because it'll be over. So Swole50, swolenormousx.com. But where I was going with that is I just dropped well, I didn't drop it yet, but there's a new upload. I just have to do a couple things and tweak and make sure everything's on point. For Swolenormous X members, brand new yoga class coming. So it's an upper body yin yoga class. And the reason why I mentioned that is because Holly was mentioning hot yoga. And some people were also mentioning that the gravity yoga and the yin yoga in Swolenormous X is what they enjoy the most. And I agree. And when it comes to meditation, when it comes to yoga, we're talking about that in combination with strength training, because we're all here not just being yoga is the only thing you should do. Yoga is the only thing you should do. No, strength training, yoga, balance, stability, mobility. Yoga with strength training is amazing. It's amazing for all parts of the body. And the yin yoga and gravity yoga is literally just that. You're not fighting against gravity. You're surrendering. It's literally the best way to describe it is the word or the phrase or the concept of surrender. You're surrendering your body to gravity. You're surrendering your body to the earth. And by releasing your resistance and releasing your muscles, just like at the core of your body, releasing all your, I guess, active resistance to the pull of gravity, you can release and get into these really soft, or increase the pliability of these connective tissues like your tendons and your ligaments. Those are absolutely huge concepts when it comes to resistance training, because you have literally the yin and the yang. You have strength and you have all this high intensity and stress, and then you have the meditation. You have the surrender, you have the gravity, you have the yin yoga. And what's great about the yin yoga is you're holding positions for 3, 4, 5+ minutes, and it allows you to get into this really tough connective tissue that is really responsible. And this connective tissue, this fascial tissue, is all around all the muscle fibers. It separates and compartmentalizes all the muscle tissue. And that's the reason why when you put your arm over your head, you twist this, that, and the other, your biceps stay in the right place. Your lats don't move. Nothing gets stuck and twisted, because fascial connective tissue keeps everything organized. It wraps around individual muscle fibers, larger muscle groups. It keeps all the organs in check. So this tissue is everywhere, and longer holds make it more plastic. It makes it able to lengthen. And you can't get this from just a stretch for 30 seconds. You have to do long passive holds. And that's what yin yoga does. So it completely balances out the tension from weightlifting perfectly. And I'm really excited to show you. This class is going to be awesome. Really great music. I used, everyone was loving the music from the last one, so I used it again. It's a great class. It's a great class. Killed it. And also what's really cool is some new yoga style classes are coming, some yang yoga. So yang is the opposite of yin. So you're going to get some fire classes too. So really, really up in the ante when it comes to the recovery. And like I said, the next program that's releasing in Swolenormous X is the shoulder awareness. So it's going to really help activate all those muscles, all the workouts, and the programming in that is going to be sick. So you just add that into your training. It's going to be lit. So that's what I've been working on. And I'll be getting some more content done. We'll see how about this week. We'll see how much I can get done, but going to be definitely giving you all the lowdown. And that's why I was saying, follow me on the podcast, follow me on the Swolenormous audio experience. Of course, a daily Swole is going to be daily as always, but the audio experience is where I'm going to be giving you a lot of backgrounds and kind of like logging my day behind the scenes. So if you haven't checked out the Swolenormous audio experience, definitely. Could use some upper body yoga after the arm workout I did today, the one you posted in the Daily Swole Club. Oh, how many of you did that workout? Do you like that? Those of you that are following on Facebook, those of you that are following on on Facebook and that are in the Daily Swole Club on Facebook Messenger. If you're not on the Daily Swole Club, it's very simple. You send me a message on Facebook, and then it'll tell you, hey, welcome. If you want to join this Daily Swole Club, join here, and you click the button at the bottom, and you'll automatically be added to the list. And if you all like those workouts, I will be dropping more of those. And I just want to clarify, it was hard. I was doing videos a lot at the beginning, and that was really cool. But it's very time consuming because the size of the video on Messenger is extremely limited. So in order for me to take the video and then I have to compress it, and it's a lot, it makes it less efficient in terms of me providing content on Messenger. But yesterday I was like, you know what, let me just give you guys this workout. And I have tons and tons of workouts. And I'm also thinking of translating those things into Swolenormous X as well, in terms of either kind of workouts, programs, stuff for the program vault. But what I want to do is also give those workouts some additional flavor for those of you that are Swolenormous X members. So it's not just the Daily Swole Club. You get that workout, okay, cool, but you'll get all those exercise breakdowns. So everything that I'm going to do there, I'm going to take those workouts and try to compartmentalize that and provide that as additional content and stuff for those of you that are in Swolenormous X. So that's going to be super cool. Love the workouts. Awesome. So that's going to be, so we'll get more of those. We'll do more of those because that's great, because I can put my workouts and give you guys some fire shit, like crazy. So we'll do that. I'm always trying to do too much. And the reason why I tell you a lot of like how my mind works and what we're doing here is because it translates into everything. I often try to do too much with content creation and where I put videos and where I put things. You often try to do too much when it comes to your training, when it comes to your nutrition, and doing less helps you get more. Meditating helps because it sifts through the bullshit and helps you focus on less things. Not as many things are important as you think. I'll repeat that. Not as many things are important as you think. They're just not. Not as many things in this world, not as many things with your training are as important as you think they are. And when you separate that, when you actually, listen to those words and you apply them, you realize, okay, if not as many things are that important, then what's important? Well, that's different for every person. What's important for me is different for you. If you have children, that's obviously a unique thing for you because I don't have kids. So your relationship with your children and what is important to you in terms of your children's life and your children's flourishing and success, that's going to be at a different level in the totem pole than for me, because that doesn't exist for me. That type of responsibility in terms of having a child. I have many, many responsibilities that might even supersede having kids because I fucking overload myself with so much shit. So it's all relative. It's all perspective. But my point is, what's important to you is different than me. And that's why meditation helps. And that's why yoga helps, because it helps you focus on the things that are most important. God, fucking scratchy throat. Gotta love coughing on the podcast. Sorry, podcast peeps are just listening to, try not to blow out your ears in the speakers. Love the workouts. Thank you, Sherry. Dennis, need to meditate more for sure. It's just part of the process. It's one thing to add. Remember, strengthen the brain. Strengthen the brain. It's not just the mind. It's not just the body. Strengthen the brain. Kirsty, that's what I love about Swolenormous X. Breakdowns, patterns better than any read and try to do. You give the answers to questions before they're asked. I appreciate that. That's one thing that I've always gotten when I do shows, I do podcasts, or I put things out there. I always ask, okay, put your questions below, and then I'll get no response. And I'm like, why the fuck isn't everyone talking? Wake up. And then I'll get responses or emails saying, well, I didn't have any questions. You kind of answered them all. So I'm like, all right, shit. That means I did some good stuff. But I like questions. I like you when you ask questions. With who are you speaking, Joel? I'm speaking with many, many people on different platforms. Instagram is just, you're just joining in from the side. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Facebook, everyone. So check them out. Shari on Facebook. I'm so brand new to this and I tend to overthink this a lot. We all do. We all tend to overthink things. I overthink shit all the time. When I just slap myself upside the head, and meditation helps me slap myself upside the head. When I slap myself and I realized, I'm like, dude, stop overthinking it. Just fucking make it simple. Just put this shit out there. All of you love it and you give me great feedback. And I realize, okay, I got to stop overthinking some things. And I just keep on producing. But it's more about my pressure that I put on myself. I want things to turn out a certain way. I have certain goals for myself. I want to produce things a certain way at a certain output, at a certain level, blah, blah, blah. And it's hard. It's hard because I have high expectations for myself. And really, it's kind of like this internal struggle with myself. And you realize that when you start meditating, it's about how you perceive your own thoughts. So I stress myself out. And I stress myself out because I put high standards on myself. And if I don't reach them, I get stressed out. But meditation has helped me step back and look and say, dude, no one's fucking holding a gun to your head to produce all these videos and all this content on every freaking... You're stressing yourself out. Realize what's going on. And it doesn't mean, okay, don't work as hard. It just means, okay, you are raising the bar for yourself, but I'm in my own world. Right? I'm in my own world with like my production. I'm in my own world with my output. So it helps me realize, okay, this is you pushing you. Chill out a little bit. It's not the end of the world. You're still doing amazing and keep moving forward. And this can help you in your fitness. This can help you when you're trying to, like, who are you putting pressure on? You're trying to lose weight and you're frustrated because you're not losing the weight fast enough. Who are you disappointing? Just yourself? Like, why are you getting stressed out? It's you. It's your perception of it all. Holly, is your partner as passionate about healthy living as you are? How did you meet? Yeah, she is. She's a massive support system. Unbelievable. Absolutely. We met on Tinder. Can you believe that shit? Yeah, I haven't talked about that on the daily, but I'm going to drop it. Yep. I swiped right and it worked. I always had great success with online dating. Yeah, I met on Tinder. Can you fucking believe that shit? It works. It works. I met her like this. Yeah, just like that. For reals though. First date was leg day, and I remember telling her, I said, you can judge someone's character by how they train legs. So we both, we trained legs. Neither of us could walk for like a month. I swear I like did some internal damage to my hamstrings. I was just fucking, so banged up. Yeah. Leg day. Schleg day. When I go through back, Shari, when I go back through some of the earlier daily swoles, a lot of my questions are answered. I encourage everyone to do that. And what I'm going to start doing, and I did do this the other day on, on the Swolenormous audio experience, I posted a throwback episode 1 of the Daily Swole, Counting Gains. And I am going to continue to do that. I don't know if it's going to be once a week or once in a while, but I'm going to keep on giving you all some throwback episodes so you don't have to go sifting through and finding them. So if you want some classic episodes, kind of like my favorite, or where I find a lot of inspiration, or episodes that have helped a lot of people, I will be posting those. So there's 2 podcasts. Again, those of you that are new to following me, some people have 1 podcast, but of course Papa Swolio has to overdo it and have 2. But I'm doing some really cool shit. So the Swolenormous audio experience is literally pushing the envelope. I'm going to do a lot of new stuff. I'm doing a lot of really short snippets. It's literally all the audio pulled from pretty much all my content. So you can just plug your headphones in and kind of get all the details of what's going on everywhere. So it's a great running podcast of all content. So if you're an audio person, that's where you should be going and following for sure. But if you want all the Daily Swole episodes, it's the Daily Swole podcast. And you can find all of them, Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, you can find both of those. Jim Nag, I can't walk after training calves. I was in the Army and had to walk around on my tiptoes. Hill sprints for calves now. No eccentric weights, not man enough. Was that a statement or a question? What was that for? Okay. You can't walk after training calves. All right. Thanks for sharing. Let's see. Holly, people who don't value the same things won't last as a couple. Agreed. Especially when it comes to healthy living, one person will outlive the other, literally. Yeah, you need the same values, period. What most couples don't have, what most couples don't have is communication. It's really just communication and explaining what you want and letting the other person know. Rachel, I've been living and breathing this Swolenormous audio experience. Awesome. Awesome. So if you're really loving that, definitely let me know. If you like the new Swole World style, I'll be posting some more of those. And it might even just turn into all that and additional things, but I really do like the audio log style where you kind of get like the little snippets throughout the day on my end. Kirsty, there's a 1 to 500 one on SoundCloud. Yeah, well, those are all the original. Yeah, all the RSS feeds on Apple Podcasts, like you're not going to be able to go back to the very, very beginning. They won't stream all the way from the beginning. I think it's just out of like bandwidth type things. But you're not going to find every single episode on those platforms. But SoundCloud has all the old ones, and I'll be posting some of the classics too. And YouTube has them too. Of course, there's like the video, but yeah. So that's a great way. That's another thing. Instead of scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, or maybe not seeing some of them on certain platforms. I'm no tech expert, so as I started doing all this, it could have been on my end the way I started or who I hosted my podcast with, this, that, and the other. I still have all the episodes. They're all available one place or another. And most people, when they get into a podcast, they're not going to episode 1 because usually the quality is so fucking gangster. I always encourage people to go check out the first couple because they're fire. But it's, in terms of the quality, you're going to listen. Chances are you're going to listen to this one. You're going to go back to the last few and just get up to speed. But there's so much content there. And I really highly encourage everyone, if you're trying to do a search and you want to find a specific episode, go on YouTube and type in Swolenormous plus the keyword of what you're interested in, whether it's elimination, nutrition, chest, whatever it is. And it'll pull up the episode because all the keywords, and plus you have the power of Google search through YouTube. So that's really effective. So highly, highly recommend you check that out there too. Do yourself a favor, episode 84, training is the easy part, is one you can listen to more than once. Legit. Thanks, man. You know what I'm going to do? Do yourself a episode 84. And let me clarify to everyone, and I'll make that a note. Is it Chase, Chas, Cha, whatever on Chaswases? Whatever it is on Instagram. I'm going to make a point to post that up again on the audio experience. And I'm more than happy to do that. And here's what I want from all of you. If there's an episode that you really love, let me know, message me, or put it here, and I will upload that again onto the audio experience, because I will be 100% honest, I don't remember what happened yesterday half the time. I do so much content, and we've done so many episodes, I don't remember each individual one. And people ask me, like, which episode did you talk about this? And I say, I have no idea. You're going to have to, like, literally going on Google and doing that search on YouTube is the best way. And that's what I do myself. Which episode did I talk about this in? And I do a search. Have I talked about this yet? And I do a search. I do it myself. It's getting to the point where there's so many and we do so many topics. And not to mention, you might go and see a title of an episode. Sometimes these titles of the episodes are really not descriptive enough of what the content is, because I can't list all the stuff we talk about for the hour on the show. Sometimes there's always little nuggets, right? Questions that are asked that spur a great discussion or a great answer. So there's really a lot of value that's hidden in these episodes. Someday I'll have someone go back through and break them all down. And, I'm definitely going to have a book. I'll write a book with it, with all the content that we've done here for sure. Rachel, yes, I listen to it while I cook, clean, start my morning, and end my day with it. I love it. More people should hear and give it a chance. So much to learn. Why, thank you, Rachel. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. And you're talking about the audio experience, right? Yeah. Yeah. I think it's so effective. I think it's so effective because we like vlogs. We like watching someone behind the scenes. However, it's very challenging to get video all the time, especially for myself where I'm getting video of everything on every platform all the time. I'm not just doing YouTube videos, I'm doing everything. So the audio logging is the Swole world is a great way for me to share that and make it efficient and effective and consumable. You don't have to sit there and watch a video. And half the time, video, vlogs are just someone talking to the camera, seeing someone's face. I think it just gets a little bit stale. I think people are beating that shit into the ground. So I'm starting the new trend, doing it on my podcast, doing it on the audio experience. Could you do an episode on fish oil? We can go back into that again. Which episode was that? I don't even remember. Omega-3 is fantastic. That's why I eat so much grass-fed beef. And you can supplement with some of that stuff, but high-quality supplements you would need to have like a real good source. Most of the salmon, eating actual fish is really kind of meh nowadays. Kind of funky. Write a book. I will, Holly. Jeez, I will. I'm busy. Damn, I'll get it. Now that's actually a top priority, to be honest. That's already a top priority. I've already have like some framework and plans going forward. I have so many thoughts. And so many things I want to do. It's just a matter of getting it all done. So as this all grows and as we keep on creating this community and building this, it's going to happen more and more. The snowball effect is already happening. The snowball effect in terms of production and what I'm trying to do here. So getting better. So fam, remember, do I know? No, I don't. I don't know. I do not know him. Okay, so fam, remember, if you missed this episode, go back to the beginning. The whole close your eyes concept. Go back to the beginning. If you're just joining now, it's awesome. It's a great strategy. It's a great strategy to tweak and to improve your training. It's a great way to get more out of your muscle contraction. It's a great way to isolate and to accentuate. Is a great phrase. Is a great way to think about it. If you close your eyes, you're going to heighten your sense of feel. You're going to heighten your sense of connection with your muscles. And that's a great way to get more out of these exercises when you're stable, not high risk, but try it. And go back and listen to the beginning of this episode if you missed it. Genevieve, I forget what episode, the fish oil. It was informative because you spoke to why they aren't all cut out to be. Okay, well, we can go back into some of those topics again, sure. Holly, the name it sounds kind of familiar. But no, I haven't read that though. I don't really absorb a lot of other people's content, and I don't really listen. I don't read a lot of books. I like to read. I enjoy reading, but sitting down and looking through, I'm down with podcasts now. I try to, because usually when I go to the gym, I work. I don't do a lot of absorbing content. I just create a lot. So I do have my go-to things that keep me going, but I don't know, more or less, really. I don't sit around and read a lot of self-help books, and that's just because I am too busy doing my own shit. And I'm not saying that's the best way to do it, because I know there's a lot of value that other people provide. I'm sure it's a good book, and wherever you get your inspiration from, that's fine. I don't do a book a day or whatever some of these jabronis claim to do. But I don't sit down and read a lot. Maybe someday when I get on a better schedule, or I, don't have as much of a workload in terms of hammering stuff in front of the computer. But audio is great, and that's why I push audio so much. That's why I push podcasting so much, because you can multitask. You can listen to a book, go on Audible, do one of those things, and do more than one thing at a time. So I do like Audible, and I do consume content that way as well. So when I meant by reading, I meant like physically looking at a book and reading. But I do like listening to audiobooks, and I recommend that to anyone who has never really done an audiobook or doesn't know what Audible is, but it's fantastic. You can save a lot of time and do a couple things, just like you listen to a podcast, you listen to a book being read, and you can do more than one thing at a time. So that's fantastic. But I'll take a look at that content when I can. I'll keep that in the back of my head. I'll keep that engine running. And if everyone has not checked it out, go check out the Swolenormous audio experience and the Daily Swole podcast. Of course, the Daily Swole podcast everywhere, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, everywhere. And also the Swolenormous audio experience. You can find that on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. And that's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Final question, Holly, do you do any meat-free days during the week? Usually every day. I never really do, or I don't try to do as much intermittent fasting or anything. But even when I'm consuming food, I usually don't eat my protein sources and stuff until later in the day. And meat-free days, yeah, maybe if it happens. I put more pressure on consuming fats and my sweet potatoes. But in terms of meat-free, if it happens, sometimes I'll just do more of a fast where I don't have any protein or I have very little protein. But I don't necessarily plan it. It's always good to clear out and to essentially, fast or starve yourself once in a while. There's some good research coming in on that, which is why people like intermittent fasting or doing a day of fasting. I think it's probably more effective for the body to do like a day of just complete fasting rather than doing a little bit of, I'm not eating for these periods during the day. I'm not sure which is better, and no one really knows, but they're doing more and more studies on that. So you could play around with that. Going meat-free for a day is not bad. Everyone's going to say, well, eating meat every day, it depends on you as a person. It depends on what you're eating, what you're actually consuming. If you're eating McDonald's every fucking day, or if you're eating higher quality sources. And a lot of that's very individualized. So when it comes to your fasting or doing meat-free or whatever, that's something that's individual, and I highly recommend trying and playing around with it. Every few days, I might have a meat-free day and eat fresh. Okay, well, eggs, if you're talking about eggs, that's still kind of meat. Eggs are still considered that kind of like an animal source, animal protein. So I wouldn't necessarily call that a meat-free day having eggs. I mean, having carbs and fat, but not having protein. Essentially, because of course you're going to get some protein from some fats and so forth. But yeah, there's really no problem as long as overall you're getting in your caloric intake and you're getting in your nutrients overall the course of the day and the week, then you'll be fine. You don't need the same food every day. It's just the natural evolution. Your body is designed to survive without some of these nutrients. So good questions. We'll get into some more nutrition content, and yeah, I'll make it a note to get into some of these topics. Remember, send me any messages if there's any episodes that you like, and I will share them and I'll repost them up on the daily, the Swolenormous audio experience. So make sure, check out those 2 podcasts. I'm going to be posting the next episode of Swole World on the audio experience in a few minutes. So check that out, and I will see everyone tomorrow for episode 787 of the most muscular podcast, Swolecast, Beardcast, Gamecast, Mancast, and Sleazecast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps on the daily mother of swole. I will see you tomorrow for 787. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce, Magoose. A Papa Swolio. Out. Later. Peace out. Have a good one.